Joining me in the studio now is a man who will brave strong tides and big waves to sail to Scotland. Ken Fowler's sailing adventure will start in May and aims to raise money for 2 charities. And if he completes his epic journey, he'll become only the second person to do so single-handed. So let me know, Ken, are you ready to rock the boat?
I kind of hope so, really. Really do. Yeah, it's a pretty big challenge, actually. People kind of think Land's End to John O'Groats. Lots of people have done it, lots of different ways.
Lots of people do it over land as well. So
They do. They've done it in skateboards, hot tubs. I'm aiming to do it in more of a kind of cold tub, really. A very small dinghy. It's about the same size as a couple of bathtubs. It's probably just about as wet as well. It's pretty small. You spend half your time hanging out the side of it to keep it upright. If I'm successful, which I kind of really think I can be, I'll only become the second person to achieve this journey single-handed, and it'll be in the smallest dinghy ever.
Excellent. And when they say single-handed, so obviously many people must have sailed to Scotland before, but is it quite a dangerous journey, the route you're taking?
It's a challenging journey. Definitely there are kind of big waves on the route up to Scotland. We've got the 3rd biggest whirlpool in the world, up at Gulf of Corryvreckan. It's all about doing your research, doing your planning, carrying the right kind of equipment on board, and for us really checking the weather. That's going to be the really hard, challenging thing. We can't control it. All we can do is kind of plan around it.
And as we said there in the read there, that you're doing it for 2 charities. Just tell me about the ones you've chosen.
Sure. I'm doing it to raise money for Cancer Research and Oakhaven Hospice. For me personally, I lost my dad about 26 years ago. That was to cancer. He was one of 6 siblings. Of those 6, 5 of them died of cancer. So it's quite a devastating impact on our family. I have so many friends, work colleagues who've been through cancer and things like that, and it's always there. You know, we've set ourselves a massive target. We've set ourselves a target of £50,000, which is colossal. But the 50,000 target has come from the fact that 50% of us will get cancer, which is a colossal impact on everybody's life. The good thing by the work that Cancer Research and people like that are doing is, if we get cancer, 50% of those people that get it can survive over 10 years now, which is amazing. And the other people I'm raising the money for is the really wonderful Oakhaven Hospice in Lymington. They're there for the people that can't be cured. They provide amazing end-of-care life. My father went to the hospice for the last 4 days of life after my mum had looked after him for months, and they were really, really caring, really supportive, not only to my dad, but also to my mum and people around. And they do the really important things in life, and my aim is to raise as much money for them as we can.
So definitely 2 causes that are very close to your own heart.
Definitely.
So has that been your motivation then in all your preparations?
It is. You know, I look at it, I've stupidly chosen to take on this challenge, and I'm really excited about it, and it's going to be an amazing adventure through some amazing scenery. But I'm kind of fortunate in the fact that I've chosen this. If you're fighting cancer, you don't have any choice. You know, they're in it, and they're far braver than me. I'm just trying to do what I can to make a difference, and hopefully get all the way to Scotland. I've never been there before, never been to John O'Groats ever, so
That's
I'm really
one way
excited.
to visit a place, I suppose.
It is, you know, and it's. I've met so many people even through the build-up to the trip, really supportive people. The other day I had an amazing donation of £1,000, completely anonymous. The person didn't even say who they were, and I was kind of at home, and it dropped in on my kind of Virgin Giving site, and I just ended up in tears. It was just amazing that somebody I didn't know had that much faith in me and faith in the causes to give so much money. So things like that are just wonderful.
Wow. And do you have a sailing background, or is this something completely out the blue?
Yes, luckily I have a bit of sailing background, which is always good. I've been sailing not for that long, actually, probably about 6 or 7 years. In the past, I've done quite a few adventures. I cycled across America for charity a long time ago. But I got into sailing about 6 or 7 years ago. I live over in Muddyford near Bournemouth and right by the sea. And it was just one of those sports I just got really hooked into. I love it, the physicality of it, the mental challenge, being against the elements, and it's just stunning. And you get to see the beautiful coastline that is the UK from the best viewpoint out at sea.
And we said as well that you're doing it single-handedly, you're in this really small dinghy, but do you have a support crew helping you out along the way?
Luckily I do. I have 2 really kind people, Ian and Jane. They're going to be driving their camper van and my camper van each day, so each day they're going to helpfully give me breakfast, help me launch, which is really good. We'll be in radio and phone contact throughout the day. Because of the weather, we never know exactly where we're going to land. We've probably got 3 or 4 different landing sites. They'll go ahead, they'll scout for me, check everything looks okay, and they'll be a very welcome sight at the end of the day to help me drag the boat up, help feed me, not quite tuck me in, but just give me the kind of support when you're out there in a challenging thing like this. And I'm very fortunate to have people like that to help me.
And how long do you expect it's going to take you?
That's probably the $64 million question. Target time, somewhere between about 22 and 28 days. It's all going to be weather dependent. If the wind is too strong, we won't launch. We've got a boat with 3 different sails, so we can vary it depending on what the conditions are like. I've got 33 days off of work, and that's why it's kind of called Race to Scotland. I'm an ordinary person in a race against time to try and achieve something hopefully pretty amazing, but I have to live within an ordinary working life.
Definitely. Well, it sounds like it's an amazing journey. If anybody wants to get involved or track your progress, how do they do it, Ken?
So it's brilliant. We've got a really good website called www.racetoscotland.co.uk. That's got loads of details about the whole trip, and we've got a really great Facebook page which kind of you can follow the whole story of the adventure, and again they're all being helped, supported by local companies, which is really, really good.
Excellent. Well, Ken, that's all the time we have for now, but thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for your time.